If you want to make more money, you have to take on more risk. There are no ifs or buts about it. I'm going to show you this Coinfessions Rekt ×2 for you today. Check this out. Coinfession. I broke up with my girlfriend and sold my WIF for 8K and bought a car on payments. I had held for 3 months the dog we've had. He said if I held another 3 weeks, my $8,000 would have been $300,000. Today, that car was repossessed and I am down bad. Now, if you go to the dog we've had chart, you can't actually see it, friends, but I remember making videos and showing you the very, very beginning. I'm just going to have a look at this, okay? I just want to show you an idea. This is charted in market cap. And right here it says 166 million. No, it started off at 0, okay? It started off at 0. So the chart went from, it was like 100K to like 300K market cap at the start. And then from 100K, Ansem gave it attention and he said this girl he's talking to, she likes dog with it. And it went from literally 100K to start zipping up. When 100X, it went up big. I think it did like a 40,000X actually. Went from 100K market cap to 4 billion at the time. So I'm showing you this, friends, because these stories, they start to become real. All right. And honestly, there is no formula. There is no formula, and we'll play some Pumpy G music. There is no golden rule that we can just apply and guarantee gains. If you want to make more money, you got to take on more risk. That's it. Risk means that things can crush down to 0. So remember, he sold 8K of WIF and then it ran up 300K. Obviously, I make a joke here. By the way, I know it is quite fitting, ironic. I'm wearing a hat that says, "Don't be a loser, keep gambling." You come to know, friends, when you see someone who's made it, you really don't appreciate it. All could have gone to 0 at some point. The altcoin, the Bitcoin, whatever they were in, at some point it could have gone to 0. Okay? So obviously I make a joke, like I said. First mistake this kid did was he should have bought a skateboard. He bought a car instead. And his second mistake was he didn't believe in something. Okay? Now, I'll be honest, okay? You're never going to 100% be satisfied, because you can never buy the bottom and sell the top. It's so impossibility. You might be able to do one of the two. Maybe you'll be able to get a meaty part of the between. But friends, you've even seen when so many people who said, "Oh, Ethereum is definitely garbage," they went in Solana and then they've been stuck holding Sol ETH and everything for a long time as well. They bought the top of this stuff. So they can see outside of their bubble and go, "Oh, that's obvious. You're going to get cucked," but then they get cucked themselves. Okay, that's a very, very common theme as well. So I'm just showing you this, right? You can't let yourself be consumed by this, because once it happens, it's too late. You have to protect yourself beforehand. How do you protect yourself? Well, firstly, you're buying low, number one. Number two, you got to understand crypto's tech, friends. Tech investing, there's a specific way you have to invest in it. Now, obviously, not when I say have to, I don't mean like you can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, the volatility, friends, it's so risky, man. It's so risky. I tell you this every day, that anything can go to 0 at any point. So it's not worth you scalping out for a short reward. It has to make up for all your wins. Now, the market doesn't really care, right? Because you can buy something high, and if you're towards the tail end of a bull market, maybe you've only got another 2x before it goes to 0. That's another tough part that you have to wrestle with, okay? But you're understanding now, 1, there is no formula, but 2 as well, once you're in a winner, you have to let it run. Okay, if you don't let it run, guess what? You're not going to make up for your losses, all right? I know, it's tough. Sometimes we might be able to see some large siren calls of crypto. Maybe Tai Lopez comes. Maybe there's multi-billion-dollar raises, public ICO. Maybe Coinbase App Store is now ranked number 1. That's for a different time. But for now, you understand the game, okay? Your whole job is, I guess, accumulate low. Remember, you're buying in the depression. You're selling in the euphoria. You're buying when people are pessimistic. You're selling when people are optimistic. Because when they're optimistic, what does it mean? They believe the future is going to be like really, really good. So they're happy to buy any price. So they're like, hey, nothing's ever going to go bad for the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. But then something does go bad, right? And also when people are selling, they say nothing's ever going to turn good in the next 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. And guess what? Something does turn good. Okay? It's easier said than done. Okay? But that's all. I've given you many videos as well. Highest value content in crypto. Like, subscribe. If you see a unicorn, okay, doesn't look, friends, unicorns, they're wild. When you see them in the wild out here, they got the cute horn. Look, man, like if someone could have a unicorn And there could be another person waiting in the bushes, ready for 3 bullets into the back of this unicorn's head. That could also happen. So the unicorn never makes it. But if you see something in crypto you've never seen before, don't go all in. I'm just saying pay attention. Because if you've never seen it before, there are high odds a lot of people haven't seen it before. Okay? A good example is SafeMoon did like what? A couple of thousand X return in 2021. And see, some people have seen SafeMoon before. Some people. Where you get, if you sell, it gets taxed and it reroutes somewhere. Yeah, but most people hadn't seen it before. Yeah. So just because someone had seen it before, doesn't mean just stay away. Okay. Oh, so you got to be careful, right? Because if you don't know how to price it, no one knows how to price it. So it could get super expensive and then it can get super cheap and cheap enough to die for a long time. Okay. But that's what you're pretty much trying to eye yourself towards. Something you haven't seen before. See this person, see dog with hat. Here's the thing, friends. Dog with hat is just another meme. You've seen memes before. But, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's you and yourself against this market beast. Okay? Tech investing is you got to take a couple of bets. Lottery tickets. Some of them, you have to be okay with them going to zero. If you don't like the thought of something going to zero on you, you shouldn't even be in crypto. It's really risky. If you literally can't stomach it at all right, you can go buy government bonds. They'll never go to zero. They'll keep printing the fiat for you. Your purchasing power is approaching zero every decade, but it won't go to zero, right? And also the stock market can give you a couple of years of hell max before they print money and they punch it back. But you're not going to get the upside, right? Stocks only give you maximum 10% per year now. Maybe 8%. Maybe if we hit a lost decade, it's going to be like 3% per year. Rubbish. Crypto can give you 60%. That's what Bitcoin's giving, 60% per year for the past 4 years. Okay, and then altcoins can give you like even way more, you see? But there's risk, isn't it? That's why you have to let them grow. Check this out as well. It's another Coinfessions Rekt. I am 18 years old. I ruined my entire social life and even stopped going to the gym all for crypto. I've been waiting for alt season for over a year and today I lost everything. I never quit because I don't see myself as a loser. But now, goodbye. I can't come back from this. I have no money, nothing left. I spent 15 hours a day on the charts and it was all for nothing. My mom was right. So, listen here, kid. Firstly, how much did you lose? 15 grand? 25 grand? Tell you right now, man, there are people out there, they've come back from multi-7-figure losses. Millions and millions and millions. Hell, friends, Puzu lost billions. The guy's still cracking. Okay, so the market, look, man, I know it takes your blood, it takes your soul, but it's there, man. There are these pockets of time where it just rains money from the sky. But you have to survive to get to that point. That's literally it, friends. That's why you listen to all of Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, everybody. They literally say, look, man, the aim of the game is literally survival because you just hit a bonus round where it just appears. But you don't know what to look for. Here's the thing, friends. The bonus round, you don't even know how to take advantage of it. But the longer you are in just investing, it looks like a bonus round to you and you take advantage. Everything just starts cranking. And also bonus rounds could be something that's go really, 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 really cheap and you've got money stored aside and you can take advantage. Just like, GFC for Warren Buffett, for example, buying like enormously great companies at like 60% discounts that when normally they would only used to drop like 15% from the top or whatever. Okay, so, but you don't know what to look for. Yeah, and here's the thing. If you stay around long enough, you're holding through these cycles, you're cashed up in these areas, and also you're long enough that you don't have to like take out on a 2x so you can actually participate in the upside. Also, another thing you can tell, friends, this kid, he said, I was watching the charts 15 hours a day. So if you're 18 years old, watching the charts 15 hours a day, well, step it up a notch, firstly, because I'm watching them pretty much 18 hours a day. But also on a serious note, look, you should be watching the charts 2 hours a day, and you should be working the other 13. Yeah, you're 18. You've got, man, you can retire in 3 cycles. Easy. Literally easy. How much do you have? 10, 15 grand max? Easy, man. Literally easy. Dude, friends, have you noticed all of us? This is how we know crypto is going to crank. All of us wish you could like rewind 10 years. Wouldn't you love to be like a 16-year-old squirt right now? 16 to 18. Like you just straight DCA into this, right? It's the future. It's digital assets, all right? The Generation Z, Generation B, Beta, they actually call it Generation Beta. I know it's not a joke. They actually call it Generation Beta. They're not touching real estate. They're not touching boomer stocks. They're not touching any of that junk. They're coming straight for the crypto stuff, man. They get it. They're terminally online. It's the metaverse already. So if you've lost, get back on the horse, okay? DCA. But, see, it's simple, but it's not easy. Because I've even said here, right? Stop trading and start believing in something. You followed the trashy Solana grifters instead of believing in meth. So, yeah, man, it's tough. I know it's tough. Also got a comment from Mr. JC as well. Bro's 18. He's got his whole life ahead of him. Get a job. Prep for next run. Also, thank you to Mr. J Plush talking about the solid ratio. So, when we did this and it came on at the time, I want to just really refresh you to understand this, okay? It's never fully over, okay? It's never over. We have the most videos, the most education, the most patterns. Twitter showed the smartest people, and it doesn't help anything in crypto, man. People still FOMO tops, and they still sell bottoms. It's always going to be like this. That's it. We're just programmed, okay? The dopamine. If the dopamine is outside of our control, the dopamine and the fear, your amygdala part of your brain. So it's always going to be like this, which means there's always going to be opportunity. But also, opportunity works both ways, right? It's also opportunity for you to feel too confident and over leverage the top. You never want to be in that situation, okay? That's why it's tough, man. When you're a young kid, friends, they're watching these, they're watching, like, look, they got the Solana and other cabals here, and they just, look at this, put this fluffy slipper in your mouth, put it in your mouth. That's what pretty much all they're hearing all day. They go, oh, no, switch from the left foot to the right foot. And they're like, no, you're into toes. No, switch to the heel. And you're saying, no, dude, you're still sucking on the same foot. You get it? You're still getting grifted. The answer to winning is not constantly flipping and trading. The slippage is high. You're losing to fees. You don't have an edge consistently. And guess what? If you do have an edge, your edge is not going to be here in 24 months, which is, oh man, it's like, why do I even bother? But you know, I know you're listening, friends. I know you are if you're watching here. There are people who made a lot of money trading Bitcoin and crypto in 2017 and 2018, okay? They now no longer have no edge. In fact, their edge has gone so much, they've either blown their whole account or they've sized down literally 95%, and I'm not exaggerating, okay? Before, when they used to risk, like, 20 grand per trade, now they risk 1 grand max, okay? You got to learn from that, The market gets harder over time. More people come in. There's less meat on the bone, if you will. There's more competition that comes in. That's why spot altcoins doesn't have all them. But one day it will. Okay, spot altcoins. Not all these centralized exchange stuff. Okay, that's why we do all the hard work. And yeah, man, the thing is as well, a lot of people get rinsed just doing the constant trading stuff. They're like, oh, I'm in the trenches. It's not trenches, dude. It's 15 dudes. You got the rainbow flag. It's not real trenches. Okay, it's everybody supplying you the token is getting rich, and all the traders stuck in these Discord groups paying money, you're getting grifted. All right, so you either learn the easy way or the hard way, right? You will learn. I like to learn the easy way. And if you're listening to me, you are learning the easy way. So I hope a lot of this is clicking for you. You get to see it now, right? No matter how you spin it, there is no cheap formula. Okay? There is risk. There is risk. Okay, that's why anytime I click a button, friends, I'm like, this could go to zero. Always think like that. You always have that fear and respect for the market. And then also, look, you'll learn this over time. Coins just don't accidentally go up. When they start going up, you got to let it run. Because you're not lucky. You're like, oh, I'm so just, what a total luck shot. This coin I thought was going to zero, it just accidentally went up 2x. No, man. It means you didn't actually fluke it. You actually made the right decision, You'll see that over time, friends. So I hope you're learning from these. If you've been knocked off the horse, you get back up, okay? And look, here's the thing. Many of you've been DCA buying throughout this past 4 years of terror and nightmare and just a pathetic depression. But guess what? You can retire in one cycle. Very high odds you will, okay? No guarantees. There's very high odds. Everybody coming at higher prices, they might be able to make it, but odds are they'll have to be 2 cyclers. That's what I've been telling everyone, man. Like, if you don't want to wait 8 years, you want to do it in 4, you got to get in the bear market. We did not know the Bitcoin dominance was going to cuck us for this long and the business cycle was going to be this wrecked for this long. You didn't know that, right? In another alternative universe, Bitcoin dominance was collapsing already a year and a half ago, okay? So maybe you won't do the same thing next time. Maybe we'll run early, okay? You've now learned this. You're looking for unicorns. You're looking for stuff you haven't seen before. When you get in, obviously you can't go all in, but also you got to be willing to let something go to zero. You just have to, And by the way, how do you even know it's dead? Look what happened to P-Dye, right? Most people get it, friends, but applying it, totally different. Okay, that's why a lot of people get wrecked. They want to keep trading, try to grow their portfolio because they hear of one guy who gets some sort of streak or gets edge after a while, but then it doesn't last forever, you know? You go look at Twitter and look, I could even just show you for that. I'll show you so many people. There are the lost souls of people who once had an edge and it was great, and then it dwindled over time and they could no longer adapt. Listen to whoever's killing it the most, okay? The highest win rate is long-term holding, all right? Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.